What military regulation was clearly written because of one specific idiot. I found out when I discovered why we have Army Regulation 15 to 47, which specifically prohibits using field radios to cook food. This was at Fort Hood in 2018. Our communications unit had this guy named Tyler who was obsessed with cooking shows. Watched Food Network every chance he got, always talking about opening his own restaurant someday. Problem was, Tyler was also the cheapest person alive. Refused to buy a microwave or hot plate for the barracks. Said it was a waste of money when we had a perfectly good chow hall. But Tyler hated chow hall food. Called it prison slop. So he started getting creative with heating up his own meals using whatever equipment was available. Started small, used his laptop to warm up pizza slices, balanced frozen burritos on top of the heater in winter. Normal broke soldier stuff. Then Tyler discovered that our ANPRC 150 field radios generate significant heat when transmitting. These radios cost about $15,000 each and are critical for battlefield communications. Tyler figured out that if he wrapped his food in aluminum foil and placed it on top of the radio's heat exhaust, he could cook pretty much anything. Ramen noodles, hot dogs, even managed to make grilled cheese sandwiches. At first he was sneaky about it, only cooked during downtime when the radios weren't being used for training. But Tyler got ambitious, started bringing elaborate ingredients to work, marinated chicken breasts, fresh vegetables, even bought a small camping pot that fit perfectly over the radio's ventilation system. Our squad leader, Sergeant Davis, started noticing the smell. Tyler's cooking was actually pretty good, and the whole communications tent would fill with these amazing aromas during lunch breaks. "Hey Tyler," Davis said one day. "What's that incredible smell?" "Just my lunch, Sergeant. Heating it up the efficient way." Davis shrugged and moved on. As long as Tyler was getting his work done, he didn't care how the kid heated his food. The problem started when Tyler got too comfortable with his system. He started cooking during active training exercises when those radios were actually supposed to be operational. We were running a major field exercise with units spread across 3 different states. Critical communications between headquarters and forward positions. Lives potentially depending on clear radio contact. That's when Tyler decided to make beef stew. He set up his little cooking operation right in the middle of our communication hub. Big pot of stew simmering away on top of radio station Alpha, which was supposed to be our primary link to division headquarters. Everything was fine until the stew started boiling over. Hot liquid dripped down into the radio's cooling vents. Immediately fried half the internal circuitry. Radio went completely dead right in the middle of a simulated casualty evacuation. Medevac helicopters couldn't get coordinates. Ground units lost contact with command. The entire exercise turned into chaos. Tyler standing there with a ladle in his hand, stirring beef stew, while officers are screaming about communication blackouts and potential real-world safety issues. Sergeant Davis grabbed Tyler by the shoulders. "What did you do?" "I was just making lunch, Sergeant. The radio was working fine until the stew boiled over." The investigation was swift and brutal. Turns out Tyler had been slowly damaging multiple radios over several months with his cooking experiments. Grease buildup in the ventilation systems, moisture damage from steam, metal corrosion from food spills. 3 radios completely destroyed. Total replacement cost, $45,000, plus the cost of the ruined training exercise and equipment rental for backup communications. Tyler got an Article 15, reduction in rank, and a massive fine that'll take him years to pay off. But the real lasting impact was regulatory. Within 6 months, Army Regulation 15 to 47 appeared in the official manual. Section 3, subsection C specifically states, personnel are prohibited from using military communications equipment for food preparation, heating, or cooking purposes. The regulation is 8 pages long, covers everything from basic heating to complex cooking methods, even includes diagrams showing improper use of radio equipment for food preparation. Everyone in the communications field knows about Tyler's regulation. It gets briefed to every new soldier during equipment training. Don't be like the guy who made beef stew with a $15,000 radio. Last I heard, Tyler was working in the motor pool, where the most damage he can do is changing oil filters. And yes, he still brings elaborate homemade lunches to work. He just uses a regular microwave now like a normal person. The chow hall finally got one after his stew incident made national military news.